In this section, we're going to be talking about backgrounds. Now, you can have a nice scenery and so on, but I'm going to be talking about just where you're literally putting your subject up against a background. Now, I'm always looking whenever I'm taking pictures of people of what makes good backgrounds. Sometimes it could be the floor even, like in this picture right here. Or it could be a wall, a fence, and so many other things that can make backgrounds look very interesting. We're going to go over a bunch that I've done throughout my work. So this is all from my portfolio. And hopefully it gives you guys some ideas to start looking at your environment to find things that can make good backgrounds for your picture. Whenever you're using a background for your picture, make sure that you're framing your picture so that the background is as solid as it can be. So you're not including things that are not part of that background. So yeah, so if the background is a wall and next to the wall is a painting, make sure that the painting's not in the picture, it's just a wall. So you move the subject or you get very close to the subject so that painting's not showing, it's just a wall. So stuff like that. So here's some examples and hopefully it will inspire you guys to start looking for cool backgrounds. The first one here is this one of her laying down in the ground. I thought it would look very interesting to just have the hardwood floor be the background. So I'm looking straight down and shooting at her, and we have the hair all out in a plate, all out and everything, and we have the floor be the background. One of the things that I really look for whenever we're in the park and any place green is bushes and things that make the whole background look all green. And then if I have to go into Photoshop and add more of it, I can. But I find the foliage in the background that's all green, and then I take a picture of the subject, usually with flashes and stuff. But this is an example of all green background. Looks very interesting. You can find stuff like this, very natural, use natural light and take a picture of a subject like this in the park or whatever. Just look for all green in the background and it looks very interesting. The next one is this gate, fence, whatever, this gate, let's call it that, where she puts her fingers through it and we shoot this. Now, a lot of people would just shoot straight on at this. So shoot it from another angle in which the background is this gate. But I shot it from an angle because I thought it looks interesting as it goes blurry in the background, the further it goes. And it just looked more interesting from a side than her leaning just on it, right? It gives her something to hold on to and pose better from a side than just straight on. So you can shoot straight on or from a side like this with an interesting background like that. So here it is again with a kid. Literally, I think the same pose. It's just that he's looking out at the gate and she's looking the other way. But as you see here in this hand and this hand is very similar. Sorry, this hand holding on and this hand holding on. But shot from a side, it blurs in the background. You can see the whole fence. It looks very interesting. Here is a wall also being shot from a side so that the wall extends. We have leading lines from the brick pointing at her. So all the lines lead up to her. The wall can be shot straight on. So the subject is up against the wall or from a side. Here it is again from the side. So you can see a lot more of the wall. There was graffiti on the wall, so it looked interesting like that on the side. And here it is straight on. The subject just, this kid just have his foot up and then we're shooting the whole wall. And then her with her leg up and we're shooting the wall. So these walls look interesting, so we use those as background. Here it is again straight down for a fine art picture of Natalie here laying down on the floor. the floor becomes a background, and it's all dirt that's even in black, and she stands out from the background because the background's all dark. Here it is with a mural. So there's art on the wall. It becomes a really nice background. They could have stand up. I think I took some pictures of them standing up. But also this was one of my favorites of them sitting up against it. That becomes a nice background to shoot in. If you want to go a step further and create your own backgrounds, I had a whole series where I did creative backgrounds, and I created my own background. So one of the backgrounds that I created was this magazine wall. You can do a newspaper wall as well. There's so many things that you can create backgrounds for if you were to do like a home studio kind of thing. So this is just a magazine, and I know this is an iPhone photography course and you might not go to the full extent to do something like this, but maybe you will. So in the slight chance, this is an example of a background that I've created, which is just magazines in the floor and in the background. Here we did balloons in the background. We taped balloons, and I couldn't figure out an order for the colors of the balloons, so I just created rows of colors. I think I was going for the rainbow. That was a background I created with balloons. It was called Creative Background Photo Shoot. And then you can just do a wall of a simple color that's interesting. White walls are pretty basic, but if you find something that's like a green wall, a purple wall, a red wall, a blue wall, stand in front of it, take a picture. A lot of the times it's a nice background to have. In this case, what we did was this was a Christmas themed one. We tried to wrap Christmas lights around her. Her face was going very dark, so I told her, hold on to as many lights and have them close to your face, and have that light up your face so that your face doesn't go all dark. So as you see here, her face was going really dark, and I had the lights kind of give her light there. It didn't hit her eyes, but whatever. It still looks very interesting. But the background was just this red wall. This was at my studio, my photography studio. The floor is still shown here. I could have cropped it, but I wanted to show these lights coming in. But I normally would crop it so that you can only see the wall as a background. So something like this. But it looked really cool as these lights were coming in. So anyway, regardless, find a background that looks interesting. Take a picture of your subject in front of that background. So this lecture was about backgrounds, and now we're going to move on to the next lecture.